Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I'll do unboxing of this new Saber Plus from Senada bikes. This is one of the most upgraded models I have for the past 3 years. I reviewed many of them and always ask them to upgrade the brakes. So now they come with upgraded brakes and many other options. So I'm going to do unboxing, show you how to assemble it, go over the specification on this bike. Then we're going to go for the speed test, heel test, and see how the bicycle perform versus to the prior models, and I'll tell you if it really makes the difference on this bike, all the upgrades versus to the prior models I tested before. So let's open up and see how the bicycle packed now. And here's how it's packed from the top, and that's how it will look from the side. Over here is this box I'm going to open up to show you what is inside. Everything looks like packed very well. So let's see what is inside of this box. Pedals, full size tools, Allen keys, charger. The charger is 2 amp charger over here. You got some wrench tool, some bolts, nuts, zip tie, and user manual right here. First I'm gonna remove these 4 bolts from the stem in order to attach the handlebar. Then you get the handlebar up like this, and reattach the same bracket you just removed right over here with the same bolts you would reattach. Then next I will attach the wheel, front wheel, but before attaching the front wheel, make sure you remove the nut with washer, all this from both sides. It will help you to install the wheel much easier. So you would just lift it up, and the brake disc going to the left side, so you will see from the side where is the brake location. Then you would just insert the disc brakes inside the caliper between the pads and drop it, and it's installed now. And next I will attach first the locking washer with this piece down, since it's aluminum fork, just going down like this, you don't really need it. Then I would attach this washer and the nut, and I do exactly the same thing from both sides, and then you would use the wrench tool to tighten it up. And you would need to attach a few more things. You would need to attach the front fender, mudguard, headlight, and rear rack if you need it. It comes with a tail light, brake light, so it's very useful. And to attach the fender and headlight, you would need to remove this bolt, remove this nut from both sides, and reattach it. I do have full video in my previous video, so you might want to check in the description how to attach it. You would attach this rack the same way. You would remove this bolt right over here, one over here, from both sides, and then you would just reattach it. You just put on, and then you would take this wire from the headlight, right there, wire, and you would continue like with a zip tie along and reattach right over here this cable for the tail light right over here, and you just plug it in. Before you do first ride, make sure all the nuts and bolts are retightened very well, because it's very important to make them tighten at specific Newton torque. And to do that as professional, I usually use a torque wrench like this. It's from Amazon. I'm going to link it in description. So this torque wrench is not expensive. It allows you to tighten 2 to 24 Newton torque. It's very important to tighten all the bolts and nuts specific Newton torque, which should be located either on the area where you tighten or in the user manual. If you don't find it, contact the company. They should have this information. And now you would attach the pedals. You'll find marking on the side, R to the right side, left to the left. So I'm gonna attach to the right side first. So you just insert it and go like this. You take this wrench tool and tighten up, and you do the same thing on another side. And here's how the Senada Bike Plus model will look once you assemble it. And this one is charcoal coil color. Next to me, it's actually Saber Pro model. And Plus will have a lot of upgrades. The reason I have Pro model, just to show you the difference in color and to show you the difference in look, which actually identical almost. From this distance you will not see any difference most likely, but inside the motor was upgraded, controller, also the brakes. First I'm gonna show you how I look on this bike, and it should be the same as the Pro model. So I'm 5'11" and I love the comfortability riding. It's a great position on this bike. And the only was lacking like on the Plus model was the braking for me. But some people have an issue with the battery switch. And I'm gonna show you side by side the Senada batteries. So this is a Plus model. As you can see, the aluminum switch. On the Pro, it's a plastic and rubber. So when you push, it will go inside, so you cannot touch it. Over here, it's also pop up. So basically, people used to trigger it with the legs while they're riding, and it would turn off the bike. Now they cannot do that because they improve it. What they did to the motor, they upgraded the motor with steel and some plastic material, so it will be much quieter, long life as well. And they keep the same power, I believe. And we're gonna check it out if the Plus model can go as fast as Pro model, which was like 30 miles an hour on throttle only. I think it's a little bit even faster. And we're gonna test it out uphill test to see how fast it can climb the hill, and actually if it can climb the hill. Also, I'll show you the disc and also the way they upgraded the brakes, because they installed hydraulic brakes right now. So the Plus model comes with hydraulic brakes. With a Pro model, they still mechanical. And there's a price difference because they kind of selling this bike price, the Plus model, for the same price they used to sell the Pro model. But what they did, they discounted very steep on the Plus model. So if you're okay to go with the mechanical brakes, and they say the motor should be a little bit quieter, I didn't have any problem with the noise. The battery is still the same size. They also improve the fuse inside the battery, they say, and the meter better glued, I guess. So they did some improvement in every place where they got feedback, and they listened to you guys and they upgraded. So again, this is most upgraded model, the Plus, and they also have a Herald Plus, which will also have all the same features and same upgraded model. Since I already made complete video about the Pro model, you can check link in description. The Plus will be exactly the same design. All the features will be the same tail light, signal light, also same headlight, same horn, same grips, half throttle, off throttle over here, same controller, display the same, everything, the turn signals, everything the same. The only difference on this model, gonna find unbranded hydraulic brakes right here, and the disc right over here. So it comes with 180 millimeter hydraulic disc on the front and rear, which is great. And it comes with very similar motor. It comes with a very similar motor on the Pro model as the same on the Plus model, but inside there was upgraded gears, so it should last longer, as I said before, and also quieter. We're gonna check it out once I start to ride it right now for test. But everything else on this bike is a rack long, everything, the seat, everything exactly the same. So I will not try to measure it because I already did with this bike. So if you want to see the measurement and see how everything works, you might want to check link in description for Saber Pro model. It's exactly the same bike, everything's the same. You can attach the basket on the front. The only difference, as I said earlier, motor, hydraulic brakes, improve the battery, and it comes with a controller also located right over here, which is supposed to have water resistance better. So since the bicycle looks the same, but the colors going to be available as blue midnight, exactly the same color I believe from previous model like Pro, and in Plus you're going to find the same color options as a blue, midnight blue or gray charcoal. Okay, so since there's not much difference in design in all the parts visually, we're gonna go for speed test, and this is the only way you test it: the motor, if any changes, controller, and of course the speed and the torque. Today it's about 90 degrees in the shade, probably over 100 degrees on the sun. So we're gonna ride it and see if the bike can handle not only riding under the heat condition like this, but again we'll compare it to the other bike to see if the Plus model will do as good or better in uphill test. So it's a little bit windy, but hopefully the wind will be going not that bad as right now. It feels like really windy, but it helps me with heat. So I'm not sure if you can hear me well, but first I'm gonna do the speed test here as always. We'll do speed test. I'll stop, and I need to change to pedal assist level 5, and display I didn't attach it hard, like, so it's a little bit loose, but it's okay. Usually I don't attach very hard, so you will not break easily if you drop the bike or move it around, because it will move. If you attach it too hard, I mean, it might break. It's a plastic. Any bike can break or damage it. So let's go. Throttle only right now. It's 12, 14. I go with GPS. 18, 21, 22, 25, 26. Display show me exactly the same number. It's 29 now on GPS, and 30. And okay, so oh yeah, I can feel the brakes better. So I got 30 on GPS, and I got 30 on display. Display actually very accurate. On the highest speed, looks like display show a little bit less, but pretty much accurate, I would say. I think I increased the speed to 60. Actually I didn't increase speed over here, because looks like on display some models, previous one, you could go to 100 miles per cent, but usually 50 would means that it's 100% speed. So currently I believe it has 62 when you push plus and minus, and then M, you will see how much. So currently it's 62 miles an hour, the top speed listed as. But let's see what diameter of the wheel. The wheel diameter currently set to 28, and 28 makes it very accurate on this model. And I usually test it with a GPS to make sure it's accurate, and it will not affect on the speed much other than accuracy. So now we're gonna go with pedal assist, and I put on the 5, go start to ride it, turn on to 7th gear, it shifted, and pedal it. Oh yeah, it's nice pedaling. 20, 22, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30. Something fall off, but I did hit 30. Let's see what fall off. Looks like it's maybe a reflector. Let's see what fall off from this bike. Yeah, it's a reflector. Okay. Yep, reflector fall off. Basically it's just clips. Maybe I need to seat it better. It's the first time actually ever happened to me on the Senada bikes. I'm not sure if they use the same reflector or not. So far you saw it's got 30, but let's try again. So 30 miles it's hit easily on even halfway. So the bike still has the same power, much better pedaling. Well, it's the same, feels like the same pedaling I would say as the previous model, the Pro. So you will not hear any differences. But I forgot to check. We're gonna check more of the motor if it's noise better or not. So let's go. And I'm gonna put and actually I want to see the peak power. So peak power right now it's 1287. It was at 1275. So it's produce a lot of peak power. So 30 and 31. And brake. Oh yeah, so I don't even need to test the brake anymore because it's brake and I left the mark on the ground, so it means it can lock in the wheel as most bicycle with hydraulic brakes. So the brakes works actually great and they're not even squeaking. You can hear only metal on metal, which is I mean, like, it's not squeaking, just normal as any brake. You don't need to push hard. So definitely thank you Senada bikes for listening and upgrading the bike with the hydraulic brakes. And let's see now the pedal assist level 1 how fast it will go, because a lot of people ask me how fast on pedal assist level 1. I'm gonna stop. So pedal 1 about 6 miles an hour. Pedal assist level 1, 2, it will accelerate a little bit more to probably 12, yeah, 13. And pedaling is very nice on this bike. I'm 5'11", 215 pounds, maybe a little bit more today, but yeah, 12 miles number 3 would take you to faster to 17. Yeah, 18. So on brake, oh yeah, it's braking really good now. So 80 miles an hour on the pedal assist level 3 was, and I'm gonna go around because number 4, like pedal assist level 4, will be much faster. Okay, let's see here, 4. And I need 23 miles an hour, 20, okay, 23, 24, and then it's cut off. And of course 5 would go up to 30, 31, and then at 31 it will cut off the power. But it does reach 30, 31 with me on top. If you're heavy, I think you should get 30 as well, like depends how much you weigh, but 215 pounds easily. Let's see, with no power at all, I'm gonna turn off the power to 0 and put on gear number 3. Yep. And it's pedaling as any fat tire bikes. Actually, it's very stable on the road. I put like 20, I think, or 19 maybe PSI in tires, so it's pretty firmer supposed to be, but it feels solid, very stable. I love the Senada bikes because the frame's well designed, looking good, and also they're not as heavy. So now check out the motor, the sound, because I didn't pay attention and what peak it can go up to. So far it's 1278 was hit. So yeah, a little bit 1278, 1282 peak. I cannot even hear the motor. It's actually, I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember how the Pro model was, because I didn't really pay attention much when I was running on the street. It's loud anyways. But if you want to know this model, it's not loud. The motor is not as loud. It's not loud, basically, that's it. It's normal, it's not loud at all. But we're gonna go uphill right now on the street, and we're gonna find out if the controller can still hold the heat. And I'll use only throttle. It's too hot outside to pedal, but 28.7, 30 miles an hour on GPS, 31. So it will cut off, okay, 30. It's very stable 30. Very stable 30, but as I said before, it's basically cut off. I think the way they design now controller, so people get a lot of controller burn before, get overheated. They just put restriction to 30 and half, so you cannot go anywhere faster than 31 miles an hour, I guess, unless you pedal crazy. But then at 31 miles, it will cut off the power. Again, the display can go even brighter if you want to. I don't think it's the brightest right now position, and so far it's doing good. So we're gonna go and see if the bike can handle the hill. So now I'm very close to the hill. So I rode like mixed pedaling and throttle. I didn't want to get too much overheat to the throttle because it's very hot outside. I want still to try the uphill test, too similar that I did last time, because last time when I tested the Pro model, it was not as hot, and the heat add additional kind of torture to it. So it's probably 92, 94 right now outside. But actually it's refreshing to ride than recording on the spot, because the camera would turn off on the spot if I stand by. So I'm gonna stop over here, and I put on pedal assist level 5 and use the throttle only to go to the steepest hill right over here. It's the steepest hill, so it's about 40 miles an hour, 16, 17. I was looking on GPS, 17. And let's see if it makes. I think last time the bike made with 8 miles an hour, but then it shut down after I made it because the controller or motor got overheated. So now it says 8. It's still pulling me up. That's a good part. So power peak, it's 1256, 1257. So it's about around 1200, I guess, peak power, watt peak. And it's showing me 7 on GPS. So a little bit slower than previous time. Now it's 6. I believe it was 8. So it's a little bit less. But again, let's see if it make it without any air cord, and I'll explain you why it's not as fast. So it's a little bit slow, like 1 mile slow, but still pulling. Very important to get up to this hill, because not that many bicycles actually make it in this kind of heat. So it made it about 7 miles an hour. The toppest speed was at the end of the hill. So I'll explain why, and so far no code at all. So that's something they improve as well, and the improvement went through programming, I guess. And of course they say they improve the controller, which I cannot really tell you if they did anything improvement, as because I never opened it, and I cannot tell you about the motor because I never really opened the motor. But they say this metal and plastic now. I'll show you this picture right here. So again, that's what they say, and I believe them. They did it because the motor works fine, nothing get overheated. I'm gonna go for more ride right now and see if I get any air cord. So far no air cord at all. This button over here, some people usually ask for it, it will cut off the throttle. So when you use the throttle, it will not work. You have to push it. So when you buy the bicycle, you start to ride it, and if it doesn't work, throttle doesn't work, you push it and it works. Also, I noticed some people on different bicycles have issue when the bicycle will not move, the pedal assist will not work, throttle will not work. It's only when the brakes will get engaged. So if your brakes are tightened improperly, and how to check? Pretty simple. You will need to check a tail light if the brake light activated while you are not pushing the brakes, and if they did, that means that your brakes need to be adjusted. Otherwise your throttle and pedal assist will not work. I do have video about that as well somewhere. I might post it in description. But let's go downhill and test the brakes again. So it's going about 20, 24, 30. Oh wow, it's pretty good, but I didn't push it very hard because I didn't want to erase the tires and also burning. But again, the brakes work good. It's stopping. The only things depend how you want to brake. I don't brake with front brake often. I do very softly on the front usually. I use rear one, or usually use both. So when you use front only quickly, what it does, you might get unbalanced, like you may turn the wheel to the right or left sometimes with some bicycle, and you might lose control. So let's go for right and see if I get any air cord more. Actually, we're gonna go probably for more riding in a hill maybe, because and now I'm gonna use the throttle only everywhere. I want to see if I will get any code with overheat as the last time. I'll leave it torch, I guess, because I will not take it off-road today. It's too hot for me. I don't want to lose consciousness from overheating. I already got sick from overheating the other week when I was recording the unboxing video. I got a bit sick after that. But again, uphill, keep going, fine. This one is not the steepest one, but it's keep very nice. I see one battery drop, like, so it's 4 bars, but it just keep going with no issue. And I'm gonna go to a more steep hill. I usually don't do that many steep hill at once on these bicycles with throttle only, because usually even after the first hill it would be too much. But if it can handle like 2 steep hills, let's try here. And we're gonna ride more. That means that they reduce the peak power for reason. So we're going back to the same hill I just tested on, just somewhere in the middle. And I think I know what they did. So they reprogrammed the controller as well. They upgraded the motor, that's what I say, probably yes, but they also upgraded the controller. So now I'm basically all the way on top of the hill, just going. So another torch. I'm gonna go for more hills right now to test it out. But what they did, they upgraded the controller by reprogramming, so it will not go to the like 1500 peak power, 1400 peak power. This way the motor will not get that much watt peak, so it will not get that much power in it. It will not get overheated that much. Same thing with controller. The controller have some restriction right now, which speed limits up to 30.5 miles an hour, which also keeps the controller cooler this way. So that helps to keep this bike more stable on the road without overheat or any issue you will face. It will last longer this way, because some people thinking I'm gonna go downhill over here and go hill again. So that's why it's better for you, unless you want to go 40 miles an hour, then this is not your bike. But for somebody, 30 miles is pretty fast for this type of bicycle with the hydraulic brakes. All the setup is great, the price is right, they have very nice. And also I think they're selling right now for $13.99. And I do have additional discount. When you buy one bike, you get $80 off, so it will be drop the price even more. And I don't know if they charge the tax or not. You might want to check link in description. That's a great price for this bike. The frame is lighter than many other frames you're gonna find on the market. The battery is larger, it's 21 amp, and it's holding the pretty well actually. I already rode on this bike 5 miles so far. It just keep pulling me about 10 miles an hour on this mount, and I hope it will not die on me, but it's still pulling me up. And they did a great job with all this reprogramming. I think it's one of the best they did to the Senada, and probably Herald will be exactly the same. I'm gonna go up to this hill. This one is not the steepest one. Throttle only, and usually people don't do throttle only, they do pedaling. The pedaling should be much helpful for the motor, but let's say about 12, 20, 30 peak power. So yeah, the motor is fine now. Alright, so that's about it for today. We have some experiment torture this bike. So far it was good. So far no issue with the motor, no air coat. I noticed when I push the red button, it would give me some air code 8. Basically that means 8, it means there is no motor or issue with the motor. So if you accidentally push the red button over here, it's cut off the power in the motor, so that maybe brings the air cord. So when I push it back, there is no air cord at all. So again, if you push it like this, you're gonna get throttle will not work, and there's possibility you're gonna get air cord 8. So just to know, it's normal. So you just push again, the throttle will work. And the throttle actually works pretty good on this bike. It takes about less than half seconds to respond like this, so it's like motorcycle you can ride. And it's nice pedaling on this bike. Very nice pedaling, good setup, so it's ready for the street ride because it comes with a turn signals, horn, and headlight, tail light, brake light, everything you need. Bright display, 27 inches wide handlebar, so everything looks good. Cable management pretty good, all the plug-in over here, so you can easily replace any part you need to. Senada bikes will give you a good warranty service because they do have, I believe, 2 years warranty, which is great. Many companies offer only 1 year. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.